The nesting post concept, it really all started back in 1997, and at that time I was a young undergraduate studying biology, and I was taking a course called ornithology, the study of birds. And so I'm watching birds, out in the field, and I just happened to see a pair of nesting bluebirds, and they're going in and out of a hollow tree, as you would expect. I couldn't help but think that, every man-made birdhouse we have out there is square, right? And as I watched them come and go, I thought, why don't we make some round shaped birdhouses just like a hollow tree? So that's really how I started. And I developed, a couple of dozen prototypes using plastic pipe, and I put them out on the landscape, and I was really, really encouraged. I mean, the birds just took to them immediately. And not only did the birds use them very well, but they were practically indestructible. And so I didn't have problems with other animals tearing them apart, and they were virtually maintenance-free. So the original prototypes I built back in 1997, they're still out on the landscape today, and they've fledged, dozens of birds by now. There's over 28 species of cavity nesting birds in North America alone that could potentially use this concept. Designing artificial wildlife structures has really been a passion of mine all my life. And there's nothing I love more than to design something, get it out on the landscape, and then see wildlife use it. So of course, I'm always thinking, how can I, magnify that? How can I get more of these features on the landscape? And so then I actually sat down with graphic designers and engineers that actually design the marking poles for the right-of-way, industry. And it was really, really enlightening to sit with them, identify the needs they have, the requirements for the marking pole, and then find a way to integrate the nesting box into those requirements. And we've made some great progress. It's so much so that I was encouraged to go ahead and pursue a patent. And so that took several years, but I finally got the patent, and we're really excited that we have that secured, and now we're ready to move forward with partners. We want to partner with energy companies, we want to partner with communications companies, anyone that has linear assets. And then we want to, bring together the environmental folks, all the folks that already, are concerned about the environment, who love wildlife. Let's bring everybody to the table, and let's make this happen in a positive way. I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to grow up in a very rural area, and we're standing there right now. This is where I grew up, and this is where I put my first, prototype birdhouse for the nesting post. And what a great opportunity. And the great thing for me is, at an early age, 10 years old, I was out here, and I knew right then, I made a conscious decision, my life would be dedicated to wildlife. And, for another child to maybe see something like this, as a marker pole that could be in a suburban area or even an urban area, to see that and to see that beauty, to see a nesting pair of bluebirds or any nesting bird that would be using this box, what if it's that spark that motivates that young person to then dedicate their life to wildlife habitat, wildlife conservation, conservation biology. And if that's all that we could accomplish, then that would be a great accomplishment. But we're going to be doing so much more, because we're going to be providing, this great nesting habitat across millions of miles of North America.